Welcome! In this video, I'm going to go a little bit on the nerdy side, and we're going to talk about how we can reformat documents using find and replace. I had a member from my site ask me how he could reformat a note in the Notes app on the Mac into a comma-separated value file. He wants to place this into a spreadsheet, let's say Excel or Numbers, or maybe he wants to put it into a database. Well, how can he do that? Well, that's what we're going to look at here. Now, even though I'm going to get a little bit on the nerdy side, I think it can still be valuable for people who just want to learn how find and replace works. It's a powerful tool, and I think that you will get something out of it by watching this video. All right, let's go and see how we can reformat a notes document into a comma-separated value file. Let's go over to my Mac. So I'm looking at my Mac here, and you can see that I'm in the Notes app, and if we look here, you're going to see I have a username, and then I also have an email address. And this is just one long paragraph. If I resize this, you're going to see that it's just reformatting it. What I need to do is I need to get this to look like this note here. I want the username with no space. I need a comma there, and then the email address. And I need each one of these on its own separate line. If we look again, you're going to see that they are not on their own separate line. I have spaces in there. I have symbols in there. I need to reformat this. So how can you do that? Well, all you have to do is just use find and replace. We find what we want to replace. So in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that space with the less than symbol and replace it with a comma. This is the format that I want. I want it to be username, comma, email, no space. So I just go and find what I need and replace it with another character. So how do we do that? Well, basically we just use Command F, hold down the Command key and go to F. That'll get you to your find. But now what we need to do is we need to replace as well. So I go over to the right and you're going to see replace. Click on this, and now we have two fields. I need to find something and replace it with something else. So in this case here, I need to find this space with a greater than symbol, a less than symbol. So I need to find those two characters and replace it with a comma. So I go up here to find, and I go space less than. That's what I need to find, and you're going to see it found all of them here. Now what I need to do is I need to replace it. So I just type in a comma here. I want to replace it with a comma. So I go comma. And now if you want to test it, all you have to do is just click on replace. It'll replace one instance of it. So let's go ahead and test this to make sure it works. Click on replace, and replace that with a comma. Now it's ready to replace the next one. You want to test it again? Click on replace, and it did that one as well. Okay, everything's looking good. I want to replace the rest of them. All I have to do is just click on all here, and now it just replaced all of that with a comma. So that's the first step. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the end here, and you're going to see that we have a less than symbol with a comma. And I need to replace that with a carriage return. Actually, I don't need the comma here. So we're going to get rid of those commas. That's my little sample of what I want it to look like. So this is what I want it to look like. So basically, I need to get rid of these two here and replace that with a carriage return. How do I do that? Well, basically, we just go up into here. I'm just going to erase everything. Make sure that you erase everything so you see find and replace again. So now what I do is I go in here and I type in my symbol along with the comma, and we can see it found all of them. But now what I need to do is I need to replace it with a carriage return. How do I copy a carriage return? Where do I get a carriage return from? Well, basically all you have to do is just go down here and you can type in a bunch of returns, and all you need is one of them. So I just click in there and I drag down till I have one line highlighted. So you can see that the whole line is highlighted. That means that that carriage return is highlighted. I don't have to go and look up what the Unix code or anything like that is. I can just copy this. So now I just Command C, hold down the Command key and press the C key. It copied that carriage return. Where do I go with it? Up to replace here. Now I paste it in there, Command V, and let's go ahead and replace the first one to make sure that it works. It's working. We can see that. It's put in a carriage return in there. So let's go ahead and click on all. And you can see we have a nice list there. So it basically just replaced all of those where the carriage return. Now you're going to see at the very end here, I still have a greater than symbol. Why is that? Well, that's because I was looking for a comma at the end. It didn't have a comma at the end. So you may have to massage this just a little bit when you get it all done. Basically, all I have to do is just delete that. Now I have my list. It's all set. Now there's one other thing I want to do. What I'd like to do is make this all lowercase. In order to do that, what we do is we transform it. So I just select it. And then if we go up under Edit here, you're going to see transformations. And what I'm able to do is make this all lowercase. So I select it. And now it is all lowercase. So now this is in the same format that I need right here. We have the username with a comma, with the email address, and then it starts a new line. The last step is to export this out as a CSV. Now we can't export out of the Notes app. So what I need to do is I need to copy this into another app that can export into a CSV. Well, Apple has on every Mac an app that can do that. It's called TextEdit. TextEdit has been around for a very long time, and it's a basic text editor. It's nothing like Pages or Microsoft Word. It's a basic text editor. It's like Notepad on Windows. So what I want to do is I want to copy this over into TextEdit, and then I can export it out as a CSV and import it into my database or in my spreadsheet. So I have TextEdit in my doc here. It's just in your Applications folder. Just open up TextEdit. So I click on it. I'm going to go with a new document. And now what I need to do is I need to copy this. So I copy all these names. So I copy it. And then I paste it in here. And I have all of those names in there. Now right now, this is still formatted. I can make things bold. I can make them italic. We really don't want that. So I need to strip all of that formatting out. We can easily do this with TextEdit. All I have to do is just go up under Format here, and you're going to see Make Plain Text. When I do that, it's going to strip all of the formatting out. That's what we want. We do not want to have any formatting in here. So I select this. I click on OK. And now it is purely text. That's what we want. That's what Numbers likes when you're importing into a comma-separated file. Or maybe you're importing this into a database such as FileMaker Pro. This is what those types of programs like. No formatting at all. So now all I need to do is just go up under File here, and I save this as my list. I'm just going to put this on my desktop here. And what I'm going to do is make this a CSV file. In order to do that, all I have to do is just go .csv. That's basically all I have to do. If I don't do anything, it's going to save it as a text file. But I need to save it as a CSV, comma, separated value file. So now I just click on Save. It's going to save it to my desktop. So let's go ahead and hide these here. You're going to see that I have my CSV, and it is a CSV file. The Mac is recognizing this as a comma separated value file. So now what I'm able to do is drag this into Numbers, and Numbers will be able to see all the different usernames and email addresses as separate columns. Now you can use Find and Replace in multiple documents. I'm in Numbers here. Let's go ahead and hit Command F. Look what we have. Find, and if I click on this, Find and Replace. Select that, and now I have my Find and Replace. So I can do this in Numbers. If I go over to TextEdit, Command F for Find, and you're going to see I have my Find here. And over on the right, I check Replace. There's my Find and Replace. So Find and Replace is basically a universal feature with anything that deals with text. So that is how we can use Find and Replace to reformat documents on the Mac.